Hello and welcome to the world of Google Chromebooks. If you're watching this video, you're probably a teacher, student, or parent that recently received a Google Chromebook. This video series will help to better define the Chromebook, exploring it, exploring the setup, getting the basic use of the Chromebook. In part 1, we discussed the actual logging in, setting the network up, and what an actual Chromebook is. In this particular part 2, we're going to look at basic navigation of the Chromebook, and then stay tuned for part 3 of the video series, and that will be Chromebook Care. So as we explore, this is a tough concept to kind of teach by way of video, so I'm going to ask you to probably pause the video and try this out, and then come back and, kind of a on-site training. So this is the touchpad, or working with a touchpad. Let it be said, you may plug in a mouse if you feel more comfortable doing that. There is the adapter for the mouse. However, honest to goodness, getting used to these taps, this touchpad will make your life so much easier. So let's just start with the very first one, just the regular click. Oftentimes people will click and push down in a good steady click. I'm going to tell you that the touchpad on these particular Chromebooks are sensitive. So you literally can just do a small tap instead of a clicking down. And then to right click is 2 fingers. I like to kind of say, if you can tell by the picture here, the fingers are a little bit more spread apart, and it's a right click. So you just kind of tap it down softly. You can click it all the way down, but it's you don't need to put that much pressure on it. So scrolling is taking those same 2 fingers and scrolling up and scrolling down, kind of scraping up against the touchpad and then down against it. And then drag and drop is actually clicking down on the item you want to move with 1 finger, and then the second finger moving across. So I hope this is helping. I hope you pause maybe in between each one or go give it a try at least now. Getting these nuances is probably one of the toughest to some of the first time people on trackpads or touchpads. So once you accomplish these, you'll feel much more comfortable on the Chromebook. So the next part that we're going to explore is the actual Chromebook itself. Once you've logged in, you will see your desktop will not be this busy, but I put all these on there to help remember what I want to talk about. So let's talk in the very bottom corner, because this is kind of where you spent a lot of your time setting up the network, checking to see. This is called the system tray, bottom right corner. You've either got your picture or some sort of an icon. The next thing to that is the battery life, and that always is nice to have full at the beginning of the day. It will last all day. It's a beautiful, beautiful system for that. Doesn't require a whole lot of batteries, but you will need to each night plug it in, or if you don't take it home with you within your classroom, plug it in. But this is the system tray. It also talks about the little Wi-Fi. So this bottom right corner is pretty much taken up with that type of stuff. Then if you go to the far left corner, yours will not be this busy. You will not have this many apps available down there. This particular picture just shows lots of apps down there, but this is called the app shelf. You can pin your favorite apps to this if you want to, but more than likely you're going to see this small shelf right here. It's going to be the basics of this waffle, is what I call it, the waffle. You'll have the icon that takes you to Google Chrome, your files icon, and more than likely maybe your mail, maybe, I'm not sure exactly what will be pushed out to you. Everybody's is a little different. The one that's probably the most used is the waffle. You might also see in this, and this is where the waffle is, you might also see a question mark, like a search. That's actually what's on mine, but no matter what, that is called the app launcher. If you click on that, it actually launches this. It launches all your apps that you have, and you can go to your apps that way. So there's other way to get to it, but this is one way. If you're looking for an app and can't find it, you can always search for it there. So that's the search bar. If you want to pin an app to your app shelf, you can find the app, right click on it. Now remember, the right click is 2 fingers spread a little bit apart and just tap on your trackpad, or push down if you need to, if you want to, and you'll get the option to either pin it or to uninstall it, take it away. So that gives you those options there. I think that pretty much covers it. Here's one more that people love to do, and that is the desktop. To change this desktop, you can right click, which again is the two fingers spread a little bit apart, and you tap it down to change the background or move the application shelf. And that means it's right now defaults down to the bottom here, but you can also have it defaulting over on this side. And then these shortcuts, we're going to talk a little bit more about them, but these are kind of neat ones to know. If you just click on the little, this is what I was talking about. I said a question mark, but it's like a little magnifying glass. Some have a little question mark there too, and that's the app launcher. So these are actual keys on your desk, on your Chromebook itself, not on the window, the first window here. They're keys, that the little black keys that you click. The question mark or the little magnifying glass will actually take you to the app launcher right away. That's a shortcut. If you hold Control M down, it opens a file manager. If you hold Control and then these little pages, it's a screenshot, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And if you hit Alt and then the number, open an item on the app shelf. So you hit Alt and 1, and that opens the first one. Alt and 2, that opens the second one. So I hope that's helped a little bit to help you kind of navigate around your desktop. There's usually not a whole lot. Remember, all of the storage pretty much is up in the clouds. So your desktop should be very clear and very cleaned off. So let's go ahead to launching your Chrome browser. Remember, the only place you will not have Internet Explorer, you won't have Safari, you will not have any of those things. The only thing you will have is Google Chrome. And this shows you that it's in the bottom left corner of your Chromebook. Let's go back to here, and you can see it's right there, if that helps you. So let's go ahead and launch that. If you click that to open it, you're going to get the regular Google screen. It's going to be like, where you enter, it's called an omnibar, where you'd enter, what's the weather going to be like today, that kind of search engine. And you are already logged in. That's a beautiful thing with Google Chromebook, is you're already logged into your Chrome browser because you're logged into the Chromebook. So a couple things that I like to point out is this waffle. I told you we'd spend a little bit more time. That's the apps launcher. I call it the waffle. You can get to any and all of your apps that way. This also shows you that you're logged in to your @MyOneClay account. Any notifications or anything like that, you'll get up there. So this is the basics of what the waffle looks like once you've logged into Chrome, or you kind of launched Chrome, I guess I could say. So there's another piece that once you've launched Chrome that you'll see, and some people call it the hot dogs. I'm noticing now, though, they've changed it. Sometimes you'll just see 3 dots on top of each other, but I still call them the hot dogs. And that takes you to your actual Chrome menu, and that is for settings, for the basic kind of behind the scenes, your toolbox per se of items that once you're in your Chrome browser. Again, remember, we've opened up the internet. So the next thing, and I'll go through some of this vocabulary, it's kind of crazy, but you'll hear people say this a lot. The Omnibox is this search engine. Anything and everything, every app that you're looking for in Google, you will find this Omnibox there. That allows you to search, like say if you're in your Google Drive, or if you're in your Google Mail or Calendar, or in just, you've just opened up your browser, you're going to have this search bar, and it's called the Omnibar. That is this small bar right here that allows you to search or put anything in there. The tabs, everything in Google Chrome is tab-based. So as you open things up, they begin to open up in tabs. You can, honest to goodness, get too many tabs opened up there. I have that problem quite frequently. So just kind of close things down as you don't need them, and you close them down by the little X. See, these little X right by the tabs themselves. So you're closing down the individual tabs. Extensions are unique little apps or things that you can add to your browser. Some of the programs that you use in textbooks and in your portal require that you have extensions, and sometimes they're pushed out to you already automatically, but then sometimes you need them for certain things. So extensions are right next to, in fact, if we were looking, it's almost side by side to the tabs. So if the tabs are here along this way, you usually see this extension right over here on this side. So to give you an idea of what it looks like. So, oh, hey, here's a picture. This will help. The tabs are along the top here. The Omnibar is here. And then the extensions are right here along the side. Sometimes you can get too many and too many opened and that kind of thing. So, okay, time to take a quiz. No answers or anything. What is the red symbolizing? Do you remember the vocabulary word that we use for that red? I'll give you a minute. Yes, you are correct. Omnibar or Omnibox. And the green, these things up here that open individually are called, yep, tabs. That's right, those are the tabs. And then this blue along here are extensions. Good, good. So those are three kind of important things once you get your Chrome browser opened. So let's go ahead and talk about the buttons that are actually on your Chromebook. So if you look down at your keyboard, on the actual keyboard you're going to see a back button, a front button, a curly Q arrow, an arrow that points to the right, an arrow that points to the left, a curly Q, a circled kind of arrow. You're going to see a little screen, and then you're going to see multiple screens. So here's what they do. And honest to goodness, the one that I use the most probably is this refresh or reload buttons. That's why I started here, is to reload your current page. But if you want to go back a page in your browser, you can click the back arrow. Then these arrows again are on your keyboard. If you look now, probably you can see them. And then go to the next page in your browser history. And reloading, we talked about that, and opening your page to a full screen. That gives a nice view of your full screen. And then switch to the next window. That's also you'll see a little later on for getting screenshots. This is also a really good one. And this switches you to the next window if you've got more than one window open. Okay. So now we talked a little bit about this Omnibar or search button or search bar. It is located on your keyboard in the little magnifying glass. So if you click on that, this app launcher opens up, but it also opens up the search bar up there so you can search that way. Again, just kind of getting a feel for your Chromebook and your all of the different parts that are in the Chromebook browser or the Chrome browser. Here's the beautiful thing. All those settings, as you set them, all those settings travel with you. So if you open up someone else's Chromebook using your username and password, your settings are going to be there. If you go to your phone and you open up Chrome, your settings will be there. If you go to an iPad or to a computer from home or another one in the classroom or in the library, that's the beautiful thing about Chromebook, is all those settings kind of follow you. And this kind of gives you a great visualization of, so you have a Chromebook, that's beautiful and that's wonderful, but you also might have a phone, or your parents might have an iPad, or another part of the classroom or school, or wherever you are, you might come across that. You can get all of your apps in your Chrome follows you anywhere. So from a computer to an iPad to a Chromebook to a phone, it gives you a good idea of why Google is really been good for us in the county. So here's that screenshot I was talking to you about. If you hit Control, the Control key, and then you hit the little pages up here, you will get a screenshot of the entire screen. So if you're trying to show somebody what happened, or you're trying to get a picture of the entire screen, if you hit Control, Shift, and then this button, you'll get a selected area, and then you can expand it. So if you just want a small picture, you just want a small piece of text, that's how you would do that. Screenshots are important. You'll see those using those a lot. In fact, that's how I built this program out, by doing screenshots of my device. So here is signing off, and this is very, very important. You can sign off by powering down, which means just going down to this little, where your bottom of the tray, the apps tray, or the tray along the bottom, and then you can click on your picture there, and this will pop up, and you'll go up to sign out. You can also power down, and that's just clicking the off, but always just kind of make sure if your device is not managed, or you're not using it at that point in time, go ahead and sign out of it. closing the computer does not necessarily log you out. So you don't just want to close it, because when you open it, you'll still be signed in. So just make sure when you're finished using that device. The other piece that I wanted to point out here is to restart to update. This piece right here you'll also see in this section. You'll oftentimes see a little up arrow. If you can notice it down there, small, the up arrow that actually appears in the bottom tray. If that appears, all you're going to do is go to the little picture, click on it, and that opens up all this stuff, and you'll hit restart to update. And I'm not kidding, it just takes a matter of seconds, and your updates are applied, and you're good to go. You sign in. So kind of a wonderful little system inside Google, is all the apps are run that way. So that is pretty much the basics. The only thing I want to kind of draw your attention to is down below this video. I have put a couple videos that I think are actually really good ones. One is taking a tour of a Chromebook. Someone else has done this, but it gives you a great explanation if you need to go a little deeper. And then customizing your Chromebook, making it yours. So both of these are good, and they're linked below in the section below in this video. So I hope that that has helped getting to know your Google Chromebook a little bit more. Part 3 is Google Chromebook Care. So stay tuned.